Good morning. This is Spirit Journey. I'm just thinking this early morning. It's not even 7 a.m. yet. I want to talk to you about some things I was just thinking about this morning. Well, it's January 7, 2018, and I was just going over 2017. I was going over some of the things that I experienced. I would say that 2017 was an intense year for many of us. And I was thinking about the condition of where I live and the Black community in general. I would say, like last year, 2017, was the year that people were throwing terms around, name-calling people, but yet no accountability. I notice in the Black community that I'm a part of about how we started to name call people, many of us, that is now the new fad to call anybody that doesn't give you what you want, or anyone that disagrees with you, to call them a racist or bigot. Now, there were two incidences, and I know I made mention of at least one of them earlier last year when I mentioned about this man that was begging. It was a Black man, American man, and he was sitting on this device and had his cup with some change in it and asking for money. When I walked past him, he had said, "Oh, you look like that girl, and she's a bigot or racist," and blah, blah, blah. Now, this was a Black man. He was just a little darker than me, and he's addressing this to me. So I thought it was amusing. So I stopped and walked up to him. And I assumed he was homeless because he's panhandling money. And I found it amusing that he doesn't know me, but that I look like this person, this television personality, and that she's a so-called racist. And I just thought, and I knew who he was referring to. Well, he didn't give her name, but he described her, and I know that person also lives in that neighborhood as well, nearby. But I just thought it was amusing for a middle-aged Black man to call a fellow Black woman who has money, and she probably manages her money, and to call her that. And he started talking more, and then he asked me to buy him toilet paper. So, I got it for him because he asked me to, and I had this issue that, as a so-called Black person, I'm supposed to help other Black people and get us out of poverty and save us. And again, I guess my ego, that if I don't get him the toilet paper, then I'm a racist. Okay? So, again, if I'm supposed to be down on the black race, I better go get the toilet paper. Even though he's an adult, he's middle-aged, and he's in his 50s, and he's asking his sister for help. But again, my nature, if someone asks me for help, I feel obliged to help. So I went to the store around the corner, right on that block. I got him a big case of toilet paper, and also got him a big bottle of water with electrolytes in it, because I figure, his in that sun, he may get dehydrated and it cause another problem. So I handed to him, and I felt, I'm thinking, I got him what he said he needed or wanted. So I was just curious about him and finding out, I wanted to find what's the social situation for him that led him to his, what I assumed, homelessness, or at least being down and out. I mean, he was dressed, he was clean though, he wasn't disheveled. He says, "Oh no, I'm not homeless." I said, "You're not homeless?" He says, "No, I just ran out of money when my I think he said the public assistance thing, that and the food stamps, that if you run out, you have to wait till the next cycle when you get your benefit." He said, "That's all, I get it in a couple of days." And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I feel like a jerk, a real jerk. And I wanted to kick myself. But I said, I gave it to him anyway. I said, my heart was in the right place. I thought he had a need, because he said he had a need. So, again, it was a learning experience that not everybody you see begging for money or food or toilet paper is homeless and down and out. Yeah, he's stressed. He says, "No, I'm not homeless. I live right around the corner," he said, "and I live in an apartment building. I rent an apartment here, and yeah, I just ran out of money." So at least he was honest about that. And then, as I'm sitting here in bed, or I should say lying here in bed, I thought of this other incident that happened to me. And this one I didn't share. I was going to share, but I got distracted. But let me tell you this one. I went to visit family in one of the other boroughs in New York City. And I went to this fast food place to get food for me and this other person, that the family member that I was visiting. And while I was there, a black woman, she could have been in her 30s, comes in, and there was some dialogue between she and another black man. I forget how it went, whether they both came in together or the guy was leaving. It was a short dialogue. Again, I'm just entering into the place, and then shortly after, she's there, and I had already placed my order. So she's panhandling. She never looks at me, and then but she's talking to these two construction workers that were white. They never respond to her. They never look up. Everybody is just in their own space. But she's directly in front of me and in my line of view. And I thought it was amusing that I'm the only black person in that place. The others were Asian, and then the two white construction workers. And she's right in front of me. And when she finally says, I want to get food, and then she's just rambling still, she looked very disheveled. And again, my conscience kicked in, and I said, this is a black woman. I'm the only black person in this restaurant. It was empty. It was just three people outside of myself, customers that were sitting down. And I'm right here, and wouldn't I be socially conscious for when your so-called own race or your own black race comes in and asks for help, even though they're not looking and talking to you? But the fact that I'm there, and wouldn't the other people in that room be maybe asking the same question? How come she's not talking to her fellow black person? Or how come that other black person or minority is not helping her? So I remember in the past, I was walking past the UN, the United Nations, and there was a man sleeping on a cardboard box in the winter. And a European man had walked past me, and as he's about to pass me, he stops and says, help him, getting all dramatic, and walks away. So I guess that was on my mind, that boy, how people perceive you when they see a homeless and you look like you're of that group, and someone else is a foreigner. If these foreigners or people who don't look like you or from another country, whatever, see that you don't care or perceive that you don't care about your so-called own, they're not going to respect you either. And I understand that thinking. So I guess I have that playing on my head. And even though this woman in this fast food place is not looking at me, when she said about the food, that I want to get food, and I figure, okay, this is a food place, I could maybe buy her some food if that's what she really wants. So I said, excuse me, miss. So she turns around and she looks at me, and then I said to her, did you say that you want food? She said, yes. So I said, I'll get you food then. And I said, look at the menu, what do you want? She tells me what she wants. But the person at the desk, the counter, the person who's taking the food orders, she whispers to me, shortly after the order was placed, because we were just standing, she started talking to me. She may have thanked me, but the lady at the counter whispers in my ear, hey, this lady comes in every day begging for food. I said, oh, in my mind I said, oh. The lady, the girl that was begging for money for food gets offended and starts saying very loudly, you're a racist, you don't like black people, blah, 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 going on. And then I said to her, I said, wait a minute. I said, I'm a black person, and I come in here all the time when I come to visit, and they give me good service. Come on. I said, come on now, you can't say something like that. Come on. And she's just acting unruly. I said, look, she didn't mean any harm. Look, I'm getting your food. When you get your food, you get it and you just leave. Or just eat it, whatever. Just come and chill, relax. Then she calms down. Then she starts up again. No one's talking to her. We're still waiting for the food. And I'm waiting for my order. And I tell her again, I said, come on. So why I'm mentioning this story is that, see, the age of 2017 and 2016 was about who's the victim, who's the racist. When in actuality, a racist and a bigot is not just someone who disagrees with you, or if you can't manipulate them enough to get money or services from them, and it's those things that you should be getting for yourself. That woman should have gotten her food for herself. Again, she's also mentioning, she got kids, blah, blah, blah. I doubt she's, even with the order she ordered, I doubt she's getting that for little kids. It was for herself. So you have people who lie to try to get sympathy, lie about having children. Or maybe she did have children. Who knows? But when she was there, she wasn't getting food for children. They would have been there with her, but they weren't. It was just her. And if you don't care about the way you present yourself, I doubt you're going to care about the security of your children, The two go hand in hand. When you care about how you're dressed, your hygiene and all that, you're going to also care that your children are dressed and have hygiene also. But either way, see, a lot of us are trained to, we just kind of be puppets. We just repeat, or a parrot, we just repeat what society wants us to say. And she evidently is living in an environment that's teaching her, this is the weapon that I use. Call someone a racist, or that man that asked me to get toilet paper. Just call a black person, a fellow black person, or a white person, or an Asian racist when they're too lazy and foolish to go and save money to buy their own food or toilet paper. I think it's wrong to do that, and to do that to a fellow so-called black person like myself, who, I have to support myself. I don't have anyone to support me, nor am I asking for anyone to financially support me. But I think it's wrong for blacks and other so-called minority groups to put a hang-up or guilt on people. They themselves should feel guilty about themselves, why they're not helping themselves, but they want to shame others, as that man did. What are they doing to help the black community, or any community? What are they really doing to help themselves? Or are they just keeping themselves in poverty and blaming everybody for their problems? Well, for me, Spirit Journey, as I call this channel, I don't want to be in a position of name calling and putting lies and shame on other people. Not like what these two individuals did, or lie about calling someone a racist or a bigot. It's something that I think who the real bigot is were those two individuals. And yet you may ask, well, why is that? Well, for one, they don't know me. They're going by my color, or the way I'm dressed or speak. And based on that, because they didn't get an expectation, which is a handout, that they are a particular thing. So they're judging me and calling me, or by inference, at least with the first one, because I looked like a particular person, a celebrity, and probably that person didn't give him any toilet paper. So he's going to call anyone, black people, white people, yellow people, red people, he's going to call everybody but himself a racist. But he's judging us based on what he thinks we have or don't have, and then treat us in a negative way. Isn't that what a real racist is? Some people even get so hostile that they may try to physically assault you if you don't give them what they want. I call that thuggery. And I did explain in an older video, a video that I did last year, about the two women who were trying to thug me on the train. So it seems like the trend in New York City for some urban blacks is to be the new racists, and making those people who really want to make a positive social change in the black community or any community, the world at large, to wish goodwill on others. But they're getting a stronghold and want to exert their what they think authority. They should use their power to help themselves, not to be bullies or name calling. So I see that was the trend, and it's unfortunate because here in New York City things are not getting better, it's getting worse. We have to start really listening to what we say to one another, and it's my desire for 2018, the year of transformation, the true transformation about self-awareness, and that this world is not the type of world you really think it is. This is a world of illusions, and that the forces at large are here to deceive us. We deceive our families, neighbors, society. We're all being deceived, and then we all start to say lies to people upon this new, I call it programming. See, blacks are now being programmed to be aggressors and to have an expectation and to give me, or I'm entitled, or look at me, I got these materialisms, and it goes to their head. Let's stop being shallow. Let's really start to have this inner transformation of the soul. Don't get caught up on all the materialism, because it can all be taken away in a heartbeat. It can be taken away from natural disaster, by war, anything like that. So we have to transform ourselves and stop believing the lies and feel that we're entitled to. You want something, you work towards it, you save your money and get it. That applies to any social economic group, any race, any nationality, and myself. I do not want to be a beggar for anything that I can't get for myself. But we're to be sensitive to the needs of those who are truly down and out. If you can help them, go and help them. But again, even if you decide you don't want to help in that instance, that's okay too. Don't let them put shame on you when you do say no. If it's okay to say yes, it's also okay to say no. And so with that last thought, I just want to thank you all for watching, and that I wish you all a fantastic, a successful, and abundant 2018 for all who watch this video. Peace and joy to you all. Okay? Bye-bye.